Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome, how are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I married my Filipino wife in 2015. At that time, had no thought about retiring in the Philippines. I figured we would retire in the United States where we are now, with my wife continuing to work. Back then, I would have said no way to retire in the Philippines, which is so far away, very hot and humid. However, I'm very open to the idea, but something I need to figure out is what am I going to do there when I am not going to my job 6 days a week? You will need to do the same if you ever decide to make the move. Subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea for things you will need to know about a relationship with a Filipina, from meeting her online to dealing with your differences in marriage to getting along as one big family in the Philippines. Get notifications by clicking the bell and leave comments here or in the community corner chat forums. You can sign up for the newsletter for the next live stream, and links for those are in the description box. This is also going to be part of a playlist called Expat Trial Run. Why did I change my mind? Was it unrelenting pressure from my Filipino wife? No, I think it was a growing love for her. She doesn't want to stay in America the rest of her life. Initially, the plan was for her to stay here till I die, then return to the Philippines. It's hard to explain, but I have grown increasingly open to the idea of retiring with my wife to the Philippines. So much so that the second time I went to the Philippines with my wife, we bought some land to build a house on, and construction began right when we left. That was my third time there overall. 5 months later, the home was complete, and my wife returned in January of this year, 2019, to buy appliances, furniture, and everything else. Lord willing, that's what we'd like to do after I turn 62, which would be in 2023. That would be a sizable adjustment for me, but I have thought about what I might do in the period called the golden years. And here are 6 ideas. One of them is to relax. I guess that's the easiest thing to list. If I can make it to age 62 and retire, I'd like to get away from having to be at work early in the morning. Our home is very close to the beach, where it would be great to just walk in the water near the shore or relax under the trees. We went to this beach when I went to get married. Another thing is significance. I would be looking for significance. Just relaxing would eventually get kind of old and wouldn't provide much fulfillment. I want to find something to do in the Philippines that I look forward to doing that isn't backbreaking but is rewarding. An option might be to help Christian Filipina by talking to potential members. That's where I met my wife, and I've helped them in the past. Another possibility is to continue this YouTube channel. It's a long time away in YouTube years, but being in the Philippines, living with family presents opportunities I don't have here in America. Either one of these could involve as much or as little time commitment as needed. There would be more things to tape, and I think would make the channel more interesting. Another thing is my wife's interests. I've been supportive of her interests here in America, and I want to continue that in the Philippines. She's ambitious, hard worker, and she has told me of her dreams in life, and I want to do all I can to make them happen. That is a labor of love for me. And there is church. We will need to pick a church together for worship and support. There's no reason we can't invest ourselves in it also. Then there's family. Since we'll be living with some of my wife's family under the same roof, that will require a big adjustment for me, but we will have our own room, and it is a big house that my wife designed. I do think that is best for her to have her family around, and I'm eager to know them better. They will be very important in my adaptation to life in the Philippines. And I have met them on my 3 separate trips there, and I think they treat me like family. And the last consideration here would be travel. Travel the Philippines. There are many places in the Philippines my wife has never seen, and I would like us both to experience them together. I am hopeful she will get dual citizenship, which would make it much easier for us to travel abroad in my retirement years. Now, here are 3 interesting verses to me about life in general. Proverbs 19:21, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. James 4:13 through 15, yet you do not know what your life will be like tomorrow. You are just a vapor that appears for a little while and then vanishes away. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and also do this or that. And Proverbs 16:9, the mind of man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. I have long been fascinated by this concept, the Lord's purpose, His will, His direction. Yet He asks us to pray, to ask Him for anything, and if it be His will, then we have our request. All I can do is try to honor God in our retirement. And if He does allow us to move to the Philippines, we can know He has a good will for us there, even though I don't know exactly, how that will all shake out. It is exciting thinking about going back to where it all began, taking our love beyond the sea.